Hi guys, today is the 13th of September 2020 and it's 46 minutes past 12 in the morning over here in the UK. I wanted to make this video on today's date, the 13th, involving the Taliban, Afghanistan, and the whole Middle East rising up theory that we've looked at over the last 3 years. So over here in the clouds or the smoke, you guys will be very aware if you've watched my videos that I've pointed out the numbers 3 and 1 over here in the clouds. Often looked at it as the number 31 or the number 13. Now, considering today is the 13th, I find it interesting that the Afghan government and the Taliban are going to be holding talks or have started holding talks from yesterday, the 12th. Some of you it's still the 12th, so that'll be a bit confusing. But basically, we have here peace talks going on between Afghanistan and Taliban, and then you have the peace talks between Bahrain and Israel, and the peace talks between Saudi Arabia and Israel. That's basically the United Arab Emirates. And then you've got peace talks between Serbia and Kosovo. So there's peace talks going on all over the place. And along with those peace talks, we have riots taking place in the United States, in Belarus, in Paris, in England, in China. So the time of peace and safety, if there ever was one in the years that we've been looking for peace and safety and sudden destruction, seems to be now, like really now. A lot of it may be, just made to look like these are the times, but you have to consider when you've got peace and safety mingled in, it really brings you to that part of the Bible. So when I'm looking at the Epic Go-To video and I see the number 13 there, and the Taliban and Afghanistan start holding talks, and I look at the moon in the background, and I realize that the moon is pretty much the same. It's a waning crescent. It makes me want to make a video, which I'm doing, to put out a warning to keep an eye out for any of these events around the Middle East taking place. The Taliban, Afghanistan, Pakistan, ISIS, and the Taliban may be uniting together, forming one giant organization. This may link into when I was looking at the astrology calendar. I noticed that October 1st is the full moon, and then I was thinking about the scene later on in the video where we have the boy coming up out of the mosque in front of what appears to be a full moon. And when I was looking at this and I was reading the description, there's many different names for this moon. They call it the hunter's moon, the travel moon, the blood moon. But the one that interested me the most was the harvest moon. And the reason that stuck out to me the most is because harvest is another form of reaping. And then just before you get onto this scene with the boy rising up out of the mosque in front of the full moon, you have the skeleton character, which I connect to the Reaper, death. When we see the skeletons for the first time in the scene in the Far East, what I notice is that on his face, right here under his eye, there is what you would call a scythe, and that is often shown as the weapon of choice for the Grim Reaper. So when I'm taking this Reaper sign from here associated with death, which again the Reaper is, and then we see that the scene moves on to a full moon, which could be the harvest moon. It may give us a time frame. So what I'm looking at here is events taking place on the 13th involving the Taliban, Pakistan, Afghanistan, ISIS, that whole area there, and these peace talks that are going on at the moment. Perhaps they don't go so well, or perhaps they go great, and that's how we get this unification of all of these groups. And then perhaps something terrible happens on the 15th, where we see perhaps an attack in the Middle East, orchestrated by who knows who. But you see the 1 missile and the 5 missiles that come out. So perhaps after this unification, an attack takes place, and then the Middle East rises up together, united, after all of these peace talks that have gone on. And then we obviously continue down the timeline where we may see volcanic eruptions. From the apple, I see there could be a potential for, again, today's date with the one blank space and the three seeds giving us the number 13. But there's also, you know, many other dates in there. 21, for example, is another date that's coming up, the 21st of September, looking out for that. The 8 in the middle, bringing us to the Roman uh, month of October, or the month of October on the Roman calendar. So could be looking out for dates around October that time. Um, so much to look out for, and so much to warn about. But this, I think, is the most important right now, considering, today is the 13th, and there may be indications that today's date we see some activity take place around this whole issue that we've been looking at for a long time. But you guys, honestly, as I said, there's peace talks going on between so many different factions all over the world. And at the same time, there's all these riots taking place, which is making people talk about safety and security. So when you put the two together, you definitely want to be looking out for sudden destruction. Um, and that's it. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.